part two of my response to finding love in Japan. Because dude's not a racist, but this is more than what I wrote down on this page. So now I'm gonna break it down for you about some of the Asian racist things that I know personally from Asians that have been racist. They haven't been racist to me. They have been racist to a couple of blacks. I just get side eye because they're not sure if I'm Hawaiian or if I'm half Chinese. They know that I'm not Tiger Woods because I'm too short. They also know that I'm not Ernie Reyes Jr. We have different hair. I think my hair is longer than his now. Anyway, so one of my friends, big black guy, now he deserved this. I will not lie, he deserved this. He went to buy beer before he was 21 at the Yan Ho. And the Yan Ho lady was about 5 foot even, and he's like 6 foot 6'1", and he's still in high school. And he comes in there, he puts the beer on the counter, he does a Teen Wolf and tries to get beer, condoms, and a magazine. Well, he got the magazine and the condoms, but he wasn't getting that beer. And that Asian woman, I'm not gonna say she was racist. He thought she was racist, but legally she was doing her fucking job because he told her he wanted this beer, and she said no ID, no beer. And he was all full bearded out and everything, and he told her he left the ID at home. And she continued to say, no ID, no goddamn beer. And that's not being racist if you're doing your job so that your business doesn't get shut the fuck down. Now, have I had bad racist experiences? Only twice in my life have I had a bad racist experience. And I pretty much asked for it. So there was a guy from Vietnam in grade school. And we didn't get along. We didn't really see eye to eye. And I had never heard of Vietnam. Because when I was born, Vietnam was coming to an end. I was born in 73. Vietnam was about to end. 75, 76, somewhere in there. Vietnam was coming to an end. The tail end was in 75. I think it was all over by 76, which means I was 3 years old. So we got to arguing. And he had said something. And I used an Asian stereotype that shames me to this day, but I'm going to own it. And I told him to carry his ass back to China and eat some fucking rice cakes. Now, mind you, this was before I knew that I was part Native American, when I just thought I was black. Alright? So, this is what his words was to me, and I deserved them completely. He goes, fuck you. I'm Vietnamese, not Chinese, motherfucker. And we don't even fucking eat rice cakes. So, after that, I got my knowledge. We shook hands. We never had another problem after that. You know. Plus, he probably knew a little bit more karate than I did. So I wasn't going to take the chance of getting my ass kicked because the Asian stereotype was all Asians know karate. Come to find out later that really wasn't true. Now, as far as other Asian experiences, I've never truly had a bad Asian experience except maybe once or twice at a casino. You know. And it's probably because a lot of them don't date blacks or don't date blacks in public. You know, date them in secret. You know, my last fiance, that's a long story that I'm not going to get into. But just know this, that, you know, now I'm going to hit you with American Asian bad things that have happened to them. Because I do have a couple of Asian friends that have told me their experiences. Where they have been ridiculed and kicked out of stores or made fun of because they're Asian bookworms or because they're smart or they don't qualify for the white standard or whatever the hell that means. And I've had some Asian friends that haven't had problems, but most of the times the Asian friends that had problems have mostly been dudes. Now, any Asian girls that I met, the only problem they've ever really had was sexual harassment, stereotyping their vagina being sideways, and having small boobs. Alright? Now, in many cases, I don't know about the vagina being sideways. A lot of Asian girls just have small boobs. It's just the way they're designed. They just get over it. But surgery works wonders. So, that's that. And a lot of Asian women go get the lids done and go get their boobs done so that they can feel adequate to white standards. You know, and a lot of Asian girls want to marry white men. They don't want to marry Asian men because of the Asian stereotypes of Asian men being small and weak. And like I said, Ernie Reyes Jr. and Jet Li have proven that, and Donnie Yen have proven that to not be so true. Ernie Reyes Jr. is 5'7", 5'6", somewhere in there. Jet Li's 5'6". Or any racer, you might be 5'5". Because I'm only 5'3 and a half. I know he's taller than me. And, Jet Li's about 5'6". Donnie Yen's about almost 6 feet. It's just south of 6 feet. Jackie Chan's 5'6". 5'6", 5'7". Sambo's about 5'8". No. Mark Dacascos is about 6'1". And Russell Wong is definitely between 5'11 and 6'1". So, I do my research on my favorite Asian stars. And most of my favorite Asian female stars are between 5'4 and 5'6". The only one that's one of my favorites that's about my size is Gail Kim and Asuka. And those are WWE wrestlers, so technically you can't really call them actors, but technically you can't really not call them actors. And now, if you ask me about my favorite Japanese male wrestler in SmackDown, it'll be Shinsuke Nakamura. He's 6'1", or at least 6'1", 6'2". He might be taller than that. It's hard to tell because I can't remember how tall Randy Orton is, but he's a tall Japanese dude. Yao Ming was once the tallest Japanese dude until that dude in Rush Hour 3 showed up. I think he's taller than Yao Ming. But, Asians have had it just as bad as blacks in America. Also, depending on your classification of Asians. Because when I found out that Native Americans was Asian, my world got rocked. Yeah, I mean, like, totally rocked. Because I always thought Native Americans were special and we were from Atlantis. Come to find out, somewhere in 5th grade, they taught us that we came over the land bridge, but my dumb ass must have been sleeping. Because once the teacher called me out on my Native American heritage, there was like private wars at home. I trying to figure out what the fuck I am. And then in World War II, Japanese Americans were dubbed traitors and put in concentration camps. Well, here's a newsflash for you. Some of those Chinese Americans were also put in those concentration camps because of the Asian stereotype of all Asians looking alike. So therefore, the only people that didn't go to concentration camps who are Asians were Native Americans. But they couldn't leave the fucking reservation, so it wasn't like it was a big fucking deal. They were technically in concentration camps too. Now, you want to know why Americans of all ethnicities are hung up on race? I've just explained it to you in both videos. Because race has been something that has been a problem in every world, in every country, but mostly in America. In America, we are hung up on race like a motherfucker. But the reason we are hung up on America on race is because of stereotypes. We're hung up on black stereotypes of blacks always being violent or bad guys, or there's maybe 1 or 2 black cops on TV. Ice-T. There's maybe Shamar Moore, but he's mixed, so that doesn't really count because he's LL Cool J. So that way you'll have at least 3 black guys on TV, that are cops, that rock badges, that do the right thing. All the rest of the cops on TV are white and male or white and female. Feel where I'm going? There was a cop on Law and Order who was Asian and gay, but he's no longer on Law and Order. I think he's on Gotham now, but he's still not playing a cop now. He's playing a bad guy. So you see where we're going with that? Americans are caught on race because we're not projected goodly on TV. In America, if you're not white on TV, you're not generally predicted as the good guy. And there are very few white guys that really play the bad guys. But the acting world, like I said, you have 13% of actors that are black that are actually working on a TV show and not just making guest appearances. And you have 2% of actors that are working on a TV show that are not making guest appearances that are Asian. You understand where I'm going with this, sir? Because you may not understand this because in Japan, I don't think you guys are racist against other Japanese. You might be a little racist towards more Chinese or Korean or stuff like that. But as far as, towards your own, it's going to be a different ball of wax. Where it's the same thing with black people. The difference is, now I'm going to really rock your world. Black people have shades of black. Right? And this is where shit gets complicated. And this is why there's a lot of black on black violence. You see my arms? See right here? They're nice and dark. And then if you go up here, it's nice and yellow. Because my yellow is my true color. And most of that is because of my white ancestry or my Native American ancestry. And the rest of this is because I won't cover this shit up on a sunny day. I go out in short sleeves, wife beater, whatever. If it's hot enough, I'm going out there in everything except for a pair of shorts. So my legs are probably yellow as hell. But the whole concept is that black people come in multiple colors of black. You have the off-white and light, like my mom and myself and most of my siblings. And then you have brown, not just copper like Native Americans. You have brown, 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 darker brown, darkest brown, and then you break into black, black, and darkest black. So we got between 7 and 9 colors of blacks. And to everyone on Earth, no matter what your color is, no matter whatever your ethnicity is, we all have that one stereotype that we all live by, and no one wants to honestly say it, but to everyone else, everyone looks alike. Anyway, so as long as we're living with stereotypes and races and stuff, you won't understand that because you don't see it in your country outright forwardly. But if you take a walk through a black man's neighborhood and you see how much poverty they live in, and I'm not talking like in like Virginia, because our poverty has nothing on the Bronx or in South or Northern Philly where you may see a gaggle fuck of black people just out on the corner doing absolutely nothing. Maybe shooting dice, gambling with what little bit of money they have left to see if they can get their kids some shoes. 10 minutes later, that same group of people might jump the guy that won to take their damn money back because that's how hard it is being black. So it's blacks on blacks, it's whites on blacks. Every now and again, it might be a couple of Asians on blacks. So it's really all about America. And in America, we're a melting pot of a clusterfuck that can't get past race. Now, I'm not saying that you are a racist. I understand what you said, but also, as a person who was in the military there's only one color. And if everybody served in the military at least once in America, if everybody would serve there, they would understand that that guy that's Asian, or that guy that's black, or that guy that's transgender, or that guy that's gay as hell, when we're getting shot at, if those guys shoot better than me, those are the guys that I want covering my ass. No pun intended. I want those guys that are going to help me get the fuck back home. I don't give a flying fuck if they're red, yellow, or blue, or fucking purple. If they gotta be any color, I would prefer them to be green and mean like the Incredible Hulk, but we don't have serums like that yet. And if we do, I volunteer. But I don't want to turn green. I just want to be strong. Anyway, I'm already ugly enough as it is. I don't need to get any uglier, and I damn sure don't want to be green-skinned if I can't turn back to normal. And if I can change, but I can't have control of my synaptics, then I don't want to have that shit happen. But the thing is that in America, stereotypes have pretty much ruined Americans. All of them. Stereotypes of Native Americans have ruined Native Americans. Stereotypes of whites have ruined whites. Stereotypes of blacks have ruined blacks. Stereotypes of any other Asian form, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Korean. And with the political route that we are on in America right now, with the red-headed steptroll, with the unicorn that belongs to Satan up his ass running the country, we're in deep shit here. So you got your video, you posted it, and it's good. It does make you kind of come off with a little bit of an attitude, and you probably want to tone that down. But like I said, 15% of what you said is 100% true. However, when you're not tongue tied, when you're not witnessing it firsthand, it's different. I was in college once, and this was in 1999, and the cusp of Columbine. In fact, this happened like the day before or the week of Columbine. I had 3 friends die in 2 months' time. And my white teacher, she called me a liar in front of all the kids in school. And we're in college. So in college, you don't have to show up for classes. If the class is paid for, it would behoove you to take it. But you don't have to show up. You just got to pass the damn thing to get your degree. She kind of ruined school for me. And I never got an apology from her or the school. And I'm still going to try to go back to the same school. But she's no longer there, which is the one good damn thing. So I had a guy who stood up for me once in school because as much as I liked to fight, I never fought in school because I didn't want to get my ass beat by my mom. His name was Tony Agee. He died from sickle cell. At least that's what I was told. Not too long after that, a guy who was like a brother to me, he actually might have died first. Either way, somebody died. He had a car wreck, internal bleeding. They sent him back home. He came back. He died. And then I had a guy who was like a big brother to me who committed seppuku, and he also killed his wife, but his baby mama, and then he killed himself. Now that has only happened to me once before in high school when a guy that was my friend killed his girlfriend and himself in front of their baby too. But when this happened in college, the white teacher, she came at me and ordered me to go and get every obituary. And she looked me dead in the face, like I'm looking you. And she said, 3 black people cannot die in 2 months' time. But what she fails to understand is that when she goes home to her pretty little house, I have to go home and worry about my house getting shot the fuck up. When she goes home and walks her dog, I have to go home and make sure that no one's poisoned my dog with antifreeze. I have to go home that when I walk my dog, I have to make sure that my dog still has all 4 legs and that no one has kidnapped the dog or killed it. But to make a kid come back with the obituaries of his 3 dead friends to prove that he's not telling a lie, and you call him a lie every day in school after that, and then he goes and gets the obituaries to prove to you that he's not a liar, and then you just keep rubbing shit in his face, and the school does nothing. What's a guy to do? He quit school. I quit school so that I wouldn't come back to school and beat her ass to death. Now, as a person who studied martial arts, it wouldn't have took long for me to finish her off. As a person who likes his freedom and only fights when it's morally right or necessary, it was the hardest thing I ever had to do. I had to walk away from my hopes and dreams because some teacher who is not black, but white, and all the other teachers there who protected her are white, pretty much fucked me up for school. I could have finished school in my 20s had that shit not happened. But no, you're going to say that I'm taking it too hard because I'm of color. Well, here's the thing. She picked on the smartest Asian girl in the class. She picked on the smartest white girl in class. She picked on the smartest black girl in class. And then she picked on me, the dumbest guy in class. But I suppose you want to chalk that up to we being hooked up on race again. No, if you're not witnessing it, hands down, if you have never walked into a room and been told you can't be in here because of the color of your skin, or you can't use our phone because you're black and we don't want you here, you will understand I need to make a 3rd video because I got a story for you on that too.